Hello everyone and welcome back to another episode of Pop Culture and Hobby Shops of the Metro. We are in the Ralston area visiting a nice little shop kind of really nestled right in the heart of the Ralston city. It is going to be a fun experience looking at this tiny little shop. Without further ado, let's take a look inside. My name is Wesley Weeks. Join me as we visit a variety of pop culture and hobby shops that can be found in the Omaha area that will spark your interest and inner child as we look at the world of plastic models, video games, comic books, trading cards, and beyond. Sit back as we discover pop culture and hobby shops of the Metro. Hello everyone, and we are inside Ground Zero. As you can clearly see, this is a really cool shop when it comes to comic books. There are plenty of comic books go around. We've got from DC, Marvel, we even got pop figures. I cannot get away from Pennywise. So it's looking really cool, and if you look around a little bit, you can see there's a whole bunch of walls full of wonderful figures and LED signs. Actually, they are neon signs of like Batman, Superman. It is looking so cool right now. So without further ado, let's talk to Pam about Ground Zero. Hello everyone, and we are here with Pam from
Ground Zero in Ralston.
So you told me that a little bit earlier that this is not the first store location.
Oh no. So the original Ground Zero location was across the street from the gates at the Air Force Base, which is why it was Ground Zero, because if we were going to get nuked, that was going to be it, because at that era, SAC was still a thing, and so if Offutt was going, so we were at Ground Zero. They since remodeled where the front gates are at Offutt, so the original location, like the lot, isn't even there anymore. So our oldest location is the one in Bellevue on Cornhusker, and at one point there actually were 5 locations in the metro area.
Wow.
We're just the 2 now for the last long time, so 20 years or whatever.
Most definitely downsizing.
Well, you know, in the 80s, comics were huge deal. That was, everybody was going to get rich collecting comics and reselling them. Obviously that didn't happen, but so they were everywhere. We still have a lot of comic shops per capita, more than any other city our size, I would say. So
since you mentioned comic books, because when I was looking around in here, I did see quite a bit of comic books, but I also saw a lot more stuff that weren't comics.
Yeah, so, you know, originally that comic book shop, or the newsstand way back in the day, it has expanded to cover all kinds of the nerd culture, the collectible market. There was, you know, when I was younger, a long time ago, that was where you went. You went to the comic book store and it was your people. You get the D&D, you get the Magic cards, you get the Yu-Gi-Oh stuff. You didn't find that at Walmart or Target, or there was no Amazon, so that's where you went. So that's why it expanded just from comic books into everything you see today. Board games became a much bigger deal than they used to be. There's many more types of board games than originally, because, you know, it used to be like Parcheesi and Monopoly, but now there's Catan, there's you know, Ticket to Ride. There's hundreds of products that fall under nerd culture, and then nerd culture has become more mainstream culture. So.
Oh, that's most definitely true.
Oh yes. The Marvel movie universe is a huge deal, and anything that ties into that, you're gonna find in a comic book shop.
Yeah, when you mentioned Marvel, that, believe it or not, the Iron Man series was actually probably what really got me into more liking comics and stuff like that. I'm not that big of a DC fan. I like the cartoons, but the live actions.
The Marvel, their live action universe is the penultimate sort of deal right now. So.
Oh yeah, it's a little bit better right now. There's a new Batman movie that's come out. It's in a good running. I've been hearing a lot of stuff.
Yeah, very positive reviews on that new Batman. Yes.
But the only downside is it's 3 hours long.
Right. Yeah.
It's like watching Avengers Endgame,
right.
But with only dealing with Batman. So they better make it really good.
I have heard it's very, very good.
So I just wanted to kind of figure out, since this is kind of a very small shop, so like what kind of things do you do to help bring in more sales into the store?
Well, we try to have a Facebook presence. I am not very good with Facebook. So we try to have a Facebook presence to get people in, and then a lot of word of mouth, and the Google has all their stuff that you could have your business information on. But you just to get out there. I do the conventions in the area. I do conventions in Des Moines and Kansas and all that sort of thing, and I hand out business cards and talk up the shop. So really, it's a word of mouth, underground almost sort of thing still for us.
Yeah, that kind of sounds like the convention I staff for. Everything's word of mouth, and I'm telling people, you need to advertise a little bit more.
It gets hard to advertise sometimes because we're the local comic book shop. There's we have a smaller budget. We don't have huge buying power, so it's hard to. It's like so do we buy the newest books to sell, or do we spend some money on advertising?
So since you are not technically the owner of the store, so
no, just the manager.
Just the manager. So this begs the question: what made you decide to get into this?
Well, so more than 20 years ago now, I had the opportunity to pick up some part-time hours here, and that was like the gateway drug. And I was like, oh, I can fill in for one of the guys who was working, just needed a shift covered, and I'm like, oh. And then I started reading comics, and that was it. I'd already been playing D&D and involved in the fantasy novels and that sort of thing, but it's just comic books are just, to me, just absolutely astounding. The story, the art, all of it, and then the community you get from going to the conventions and meeting the artists, meeting the writers, meeting other fans. I absolutely adore it. It's the best medium, in my opinion.
I can relate to that. If I could get a part-time job at the local Hobbytown USA, I definitely would be probably stuck there working on either inventory or making a model right there on the floor.
Right. Yeah, it's like, yes, pay me. Yes, thank you for paying me to hang out with the stuff I like.
Yeah, some of the people over there probably don't know exactly what it is, or they're too old to actually conversate to the point where it's like you're getting useful information. But speaking of information, what kind of give us a rundown of exactly what you actually have in shop.
So what we sell here, we sell comic books. We sell the current comic books, and we sell back issues. Back issues are anything that's like 6 months or older, and we have back issues going back to the 60s. So all the comic medium. Sell the graphic novels. A graphic novel is usually a collection of 6 to 8 issues of a particular series together in one bound book. We also sell what we call CCGs, collectible card games, and that covers Magic the Gathering, covers Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh! There's always something new that comes out that might sell for a month or two, and we carry the supplies for those games. So not only do we carry those cards and the packs of those cards, we carry the card sleeves for keeping them from getting all gummed up. We carry storage solutions for your cards. We carry storage solutions for your comic books. Then we also carry board games. Like I had mentioned, the gamut of board games from everything, Catan to Ticket to Ride to all of that sort of thing. And then random board game supplies, extra dice, this card sleeves and containers for all your little pieces. So it's and then we also carry merchandise that ties into fandom things. They have the Funko Pops with everything that they come out with. We have marquettes and statues of Star Wars or Marvel people or DC or video game stuff. So if you have a hobby that would 15 years ago been called geeky or nerdy, we carry the stuff for it. You come here and you get what you need, get your fix.
Oh, that's sad. You summed that up perfectly for a promotional commercial right there. So this will probably be one of the last kind of questions.
Okay.
I have maybe one more question after this one.
Okay.
So first of all, it's like, what have you actually learned while actually running a business like this?
Oh, learn that marketing is awful. Marketing is so important, but it's so hard, and it's almost prohibitively expensive in some instances. Like I said, you got to make your choice between, are you going to spend it on TV commercials or newspaper ads? Well, and nobody reads the newspaper anymore, right? So you got to get your online presence going on, and the cost in manpower can be so much, and that's the hard part for me anyway to wrap my head around, is getting the marketing. I'd be just like, I would rather walk around and hand people flyers, than try and figure out how to use, media to get people in the doors. So yeah.
So the last question I'm going to be asking you is basically, since you're, I assume, a gamer, so what is your favorite game that you love to play?
That I like to play? So at my house, we play a game, the one that we play a lot of is Go Nuts for Donuts.
I have no idea what this game is.
Or Sushi Go, that's the other one. You're buying donuts. You have the little picture, they're cards with the different donuts. Different donuts are worth different points. And then they're all on a tray. Tray number 1, tray number 2, tray number 3, etc. And everybody who's playing has their own little cards that have the numbers 1, 2, 3 to match the numbers on the tray. And then you pick your tray, what tray do you want your donut off of, and you turn your card down so it's face down. And at the same time, everybody reveals what tray they wanted. And if nobody else picked that, you get that tray, you get those points. But if somebody else picked the same number that you, those all get pitched. And the goal is to make however many points that you design on. And then so then that tray, you put the more trays out, you do the thing again. So, and then Sushi Go is similar, but you pass cards around in a circle trying to get the good stuff. So that's just, I don't know, when you explain it like that, it's like, well, that was a waste of time. But no, that's so fun. It's, yeah, you can come to blows, or at least, foul language at your family.
That actually sounds like an interesting game.
It's really good. Yeah, Go Nuts for Donuts.
Go Nuts for Donuts.
It's good. It's good.
All
Sushi
right.
Go also. Very
Sushi
good.
Go.
Sushi Go is, like I said, pretty much the same, except then you're passing the cards around. They get turned over and then you pass them around in a circle.
Alrighty. Thank you again so much for giving us this wonderful interview with you. You did say and mentioned earlier that you would give us a tour of your shop.
Yep.
So before we go and do that little tour, I have a question for you guys.
What year did Magic the Gathering debut? Hi, my name is Pamela. I am the general manager at the Ground Zero here in Ralston, and this is our shop. We carry snacks, obviously, because you have to have candy right up front. A variety of different Magic, the Yu-Gi-Oh, the Pokemon, including the newest Pokemon. All the different Magic going back over the years that we can manage to get a hold of. Currently we go all the way back to Gatecrash. We have all of the new stuff as well. The Kamigawa Neon Dynasty is very, very popular right now. We also carry our card supplies. Different kinds of sleeves for, storage. The top loaders, the hard-sided for the more collectible cards. We have Dragon Shield, which is a very popular brand. Different kinds of deck boxes, and of course more snacks, because you gotta have snacks. We also carry a wide variety of statues and, like superhero themed or hobby themed toys. So we have Funko, we have all the different Dynamics brands, the Bandai, anime girls. Careful of your step. And of course, we carry singles for the different cards as well. We have the higher end Yu-Gi-Oh singles, Pokemon singles, and Magic is a big seller here. We carry a lot of different of those singles. If you're looking for it, odds are we've got it. As you can see, it goes all the way down to the end. We keep them sorted out by rarity and then by set as well to make it easier for searching. We have a lot of different Funkos as you go through and see. We carry TV shows, anime, the different bands that come out with Funkos. If it has a Funko, we try and bring it in. Our comic issue issues are a big deal as well. We keep them sorted by publisher as well as by alphabetical. On the one side of the tables we have all the different DC, from Aquaman all the way through to iZombie. The other side of the table is Marvel, same, all of it. As much as we can get in. We love our back issues and there's half price every day. We even have small press and independent press books. We don't just carry the big publishers. And of course the new books. Every week on Tuesdays now, DC comes out with their new titles. Batman, Superman, Action Comics. Wednesdays is for Marvel and the independent books. We have the Avengers, Fantastic Four, X-Men is big. They have new #1s with X-Men. Always new #1s with X-Men. And of course the smaller publishers, we carry all of the different books that we think anybody might be interested in. And you can see up higher on the walls, we have all of the higher priced back issues. If you're looking for key issues, odds are we've got it, and we sell them for half price. They're either what they're graded at or half the cover price. We carry board games as well. We have a large selection of the different board games, strategy games, co-op games. We carry 5th Ed D&D. That has covered, we always try and have the player's handbook, monster manual, and dungeon master guide in stock. Let's see. We sell back issues in sets. There's 6-issue miniseries you missed out on when it came out. Pretty good idea, we might have it as a set, and those are half price also. Gotta go this way. Kids books, because comics are for kids too. You just got to make sure you get the right issues. Make sure the parents are checking what's in there so you get what your kids are allowed to read. We also carry commission items for a couple of different local creators. We give them sale space. And of course more back issues. And the Image first, because there's a lot of series that Image comes out with that are very critically acclaimed, and they offer the first issues again for $1 on a variety of titles. And again, more supplies for your cards, because you got to store them somehow. We have gaming space also. We can hold 30 some people, I think it's 36 for a Magic tournament. And they do casual play a couple of times a week on the Magic. We also allow people to come in to game, bring their own board games. We have some store copies of board games if they want to play something we have. But the space is available Monday through Friday during our normal hours of operation. It's everything we have in our Ralston location. We have a second location in Bellevue off of Cornhusker. They have just as much, if not more, of the different items, and you'll get a tour of that store as well.
Hello, I'm David Dinsmore with Ground Zero Comics here in Bellevue, Nebraska. Today I'm going to be taking you on a tour with my store. So starting off, we have Magic cards right here from the last couple years. And then as we go down the wall, we have our various sleeves to protect your Magic cards, vintage video games, Force of Will, Yu-Gi-Oh, Pokemon. Those are our others. Dragon Ball Z and Digimon also is carried here. some more vintage video games, plushies, and some of my imports, vintage Star Wars and Marvel. Some of the older, more collectible comic books are behind the counter there. Mr. Yoda that everyone comes down to check out. Statues right here. As we come around here, a little bit of miniature games, some more vintage baseball cards, Atari, some vintage board games. The Walking Dead section, or Robert Kirkman section, more likely. Miniatures here for D&D. Some more board games on this wall going through. Some new ones, old ones. Some historical books right here. On this side we have our manga, and then some of our hardback manga and some Japanese magazines from Japan. Also with that theme, we have our some statues and statuettes from Japan right there. Our Funko products. Newer toys right here on this section. Some vintage Hot Wheels. On this side we have all the collected trade papers for Marvel, DC, Vertigo, Dark Horse, Image, Boom, IDW. And then the new new comic book wall right here, starting with all the Marvel titles, independent titles, more independent Star Wars, Transformers, indie, and then we move into the DC comic books right here. Back issues on some of the 90s through 2000 issues. Some wargaming magazines, Pathfinder, some of the newer role-playing books for D&D, Vampire, and Battletech. And then various gaming space throughout the store. There's 3-4 tables on the inside store, and then we have 6 tables here in the back for the rest of the gaming community to play board games, role-playing games, or card games. Well, that's the quick little run around. Thanks for coming out to the store. Hope to see you soon.
Thank you again, everyone, for joining us here at Pop Culture and Hobby Shops of the Metro. I actually managed to find a little Joker thing, so let's try out my Batman impression. I am the Batman.
So, what are you doing?
I'm trying to be Batman.
Yes.
I am the Knight. I hope you guys enjoyed Ground Zero with Pam and the other store location. It was a huge fun experience looking at both of these stores here in the Ralston area and in the Bellevue area. I managed to get some cool little souvenirs, so to speak, here at the Ground Zero in the Ralston area. I got me some Yu-Gi-Oh cards. I have no idea what I'm going to be getting, so I'm hoping for some really cool holographic gold tinted shiny Yu-Gi-Oh cards. But that's for a surprise. Now, an actual tangible thing is a figure from that time I got reincarnated as a slime, and it is Rimuru. Now I have the main character from the series to add to my collection. This has been Pop Culture and Hobby Shops of the Metro. I am Wesley Weeks, and I can't wait to see you guys in the next episode as we explore pop culture through the Metro.